Hey guys, welcome back to Smart Money Moves. We're going to just be going over a little bit of a recap of what kind of happened last week and what we can be expecting moving forward. Not too much has happened today and not too much news has come out today. The markets have been a little bit slow. We did have a little bit of a dip in Bitcoin, and we'll go over that right now. But what I did want to go ahead and start off with is Watch Your Guru's tweet. He did a really good recap of last week. A few things that stand out to me here, of course, is on the 13th with the judge ruling that XRP is not a security and is indeed a currency. So obviously that's huge for the cryptocurrency market because we want them to be currencies, cryptocurrency. Anyways, that's huge for the market because now hopefully institutions will start to go ahead and adopt it and use it and trade with it. Something big on this list that stands out to me is actually number 6. So the $9 trillion asset manager of BlackRock, the CEO says crypto will transcend international currencies due to global demand. For me, that's the biggest one on here, the one to pay attention to. The guy who not owns, but obviously dictates what's going to be happening, has a huge say on one of the biggest banks in the world. I think it is, yeah, the biggest bank in the world. Basically, is saying that there is going to be a global demand for this, for cryptocurrency. So, obviously that's huge. The reason this is huge is because obviously the best currencies, the currencies that have the most utility value, are going to be the ones that are going to be used. To me, that's XRP. Bitcoin is going to be just kind of tagging along. Like I said, even though it was first, it doesn't necessarily mean it was the best, but it was first. So it is already integrated into a lot of things. It is already up and running on a lot of different platforms. So obviously it's going to be there as well. But XRP, I think that's going to be taking off pretty soon here. I do want to go ahead and go over, let me see here, the market. Like I said, today, when we're on the daily, today nothing major has happened. I mean, we had a tiny dip. It has already pushed back up. But we're kind of floating here. We haven't done much over the past few weeks, to be honest. Well, not be weeks, but over since, let's see, the 22nd of June. So, yeah, actually a few weeks. It's been just about a month that we've been just floating here in limbo. Kind of reminds me of this. Kind of reminds me of this. We're just kind of floating here. And as far as what's going to happen next, I have this chart here for what we could potentially go up. That doesn't mean it's going to go straight up. It just, it can be in this direction and where we might see a top. Again, in my last video, I go ahead and show why the 2,500 price increase percentage is possible. Anyways, if we come over here, we can see the top. We have obviously a resistance area. As far as where we're going to see some type of support, we have the bottom here, kind of lines up over here as well for the bottom, lines up over here as well for the bottom. And if we come to the side and we come to this trend, we have a touch, we have a touch, we have a touch. And could we see another touch at support with the other support right here? It looks like at 26,800. So we could see a dip that might frighten a few people, might push a few people out of the market. It could be 26 to 28,000. I think that looks like our next support line. We have a good trend line coming up. We have a good support level at 26 to 28,000. So I think, yeah, I think we could definitely see a dip back down here and it climb along this trend line and then start to go. Obviously up here, we're going to run into a few different, a few different lines of pressure. But we're probably not going to get there for a bit. We still obviously have to retake this area, go ahead and push out the sellers. But I think we could definitely see a dip down into the $26,000 to $28,000 area. And with that dip, of course, what's going to follow is the rest of the market. It's not necessarily always tied. They're not tied at the hip. They don't follow each other exactly. But with XRP, I think we can kind of see that as well. Not a dip, but I feel like we are gonna have a push, like we do have in these previous runs. We see a nice push here, finally a breakout, and then it pushes to the next level. Um, Same here. We have a breakout and then a push, but I think that was too high. We're really close to that level. Um, Here we go. The only reason I don't think we're going to have a fall is because Bitcoin does have support. XRP doesn't. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, because it doesn't have support, it won't come back down. It's going to push up. No, obviously it can go in either direction. But I feel like XRP is going to keep pushing. I don't think it was done from its first run. Otherwise, it would have come back down quite a significant amount more. And it's been staying up here. Let me see. I don't even think it had a full retracement of that 70. Yeah, no, it's only had 30. And when we see those, in the next few days, when we see those quick pullbacks, we do see around 50, and then over the long term, we see that 70 to 80% area. But I mean, here we're barely at the 30% pullback. So I think we might have set our pullback, and we could potentially keep going up, and hit our next area of pressure, our next area of resistance. I feel like we are going to come up here. I feel like we might even shoot all the way up here, and then of course come back down to test. Come back down over here and test, because we have a few areas of support, and it's going to test that. It's not going to test. It's not going to come up here, run into an area of resistance and then just free fall. It's going to come test the areas of support. These will switch the areas of resistance right now, resistance, and obviously resistance. So that's why I push back down. Now we're going to keep pushing back up, break through, come back down, and now they'll test again. So farther along here, they'll test again to go ahead and show if they are actually going to fall through and just become resistance again, or they'll switch over to support, and then we'll come back up again. We'll start to have our staircase. If we go parabolic, fantastic for all of us, but I think we're going to have a little bit of a staircase first, and we'll go parabolic as soon as the whole market starts to move at that Bitcoin halving time frame closer to April. I know that's a while, but that doesn't mean that this won't go up. This will still have a staircase. I think parabolic is closer to April. As far as starting to see a decent push, like I said in my last video, I think that we're gonna see a decent push up into this area, up into the $3 area, and come back down to test. That'll happen a little later. Obviously, we're gonna have this push first up into the $1.95 area, and then come back down and test our support at probably about $1.40. That staircase again. And where do we see this happening? I've heard a few different times that August is going to be the number, the month that's going to start to move us. If we look here and just kind of mapping it out, of course, everything can change. We have our support, we have our resistance. Well, we have our support here. This supported, and then it became resistance to these. But anyways, this is now going to be support because it's broken above, and we want it to remain support in order for it to continue on a bull run. So we have our support area. We keep going along. We have, like I said, our $26 to $28,000 area. If we touch here again, comes back down, touches here, and then continues to go up. In this range, this is the beginning of August. So it looks like we have a few more weeks till we see some type of confirmation of support. Obviously, it's going to have to hold it for a bit. It'll probably climb along this line. So over the next month, we should see some type of dip, or maybe it'll just continue sideways, and we'll all just be sitting here twiddling our thumbs waiting. But maybe we'll see some type of dip for it to retest this support area in the $27,000 to $28,000 range. It'll climb along this trend line, and then we'll start to see some type of push. I'll keep you guys updated. I do also post videos of trades. This is more for investing, this video, as far as what's going on. Obviously, this is going to be a long-term hold to see a good price appreciation. In every day we have our ups and downs, so you can trade that if you want, and I go over the trades. But as far as investing, this is what I'm talking about today is going to be investing for Bitcoin and XRP. I'm already in them. I'm just going along with what the trend is looking like and what kind of time frame we can expect, because that's all we're waiting for now is just the time frame to go ahead and play out. And I think it's going to play out over the next few months. We'll have another nice, long area just like here of just waiting until we get to that Bitcoin halving, and then we'll probably see another price appreciation. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking in on the video. I'll be posting weekly. Go ahead and look out for the next post on the trade, and you guys have a good one.